We got a phone call 4 days after she was born, and they told us that Ellis was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder called PKU.
It was such a shock, and I had no idea what to think. I actually handed the phone to my husband and had him talk to the doctor. Those first few moments were just extremely terrifying.
You know, when you hear your child's gonna have some kind of mental, disability, we just were terrified, and we just stared at her that whole night, just wondering what our future was gonna hold with this diagnosis. I think it's getting harder, actually, as she's getting older. She's just realizing that she's different. There's just so much that has been taken away from her as far as freedom with food.
Crosby is at the age where he can't comprehend, why he can't have certain foods.
When you're a teenager, you really don't like feeling different, and PKU makes you feel very, very different.
PKU is a problem with metabolizing the amino acid phenylalanine. So phenylalanine is amino acid that comes in the protein that we eat. And an individual with PKU is missing the critical enzyme that normally converts the phenylalanine to fuel. If untreated from birth, severely impairs the growth and development of the brain of infants with this disorder. The primary treatment now is dietary restriction.
Foods that I can't eat include pizza, hamburgers, fish and steak, milk, chocolate milk, ice cream.
I'd say the majority of people in adolescence and certainly into adulthood have great difficulty maintaining that severe kind of a restriction.
You're hungry. When you have PKU, you're hungry pretty much all the time.
I was diagnosed at birth. They put me on a formula right away at birth. Then I went pretty much completely off my diet as my late teens, early 20s. And that was a big mistake. And that's partially how I have some of my problems, is how I lost track of my diet. I've got a lot of neurological problems. I've had multiple seizures. My muscles shake. I don't know. Basically my neurological system is shot from being off diet.
A lot of our teens and adults are no longer on dietary therapy because it is so difficult to do every single day for the rest of your life.
Well, it's really hard. I can't have a lot of stuff that my friends can have, like chocolate, pizza, and all that stuff. Sometimes it really frustrates me. And I bet that's the same for all the other kids that want a cure too.
The diet that we, as it is definitely not a cure. As I mentioned, a lot of people have difficulty maintaining that. There is some data that even in kids who are very well treated, that their incidence of problems with attention deficit in school is higher than in the regular population, and a fair number of them end up on stimulant medications for attention deficit disorder. And we know that the incidence of attention deficit in adults is quite high despite the dietary therapy.
A cure for PKU would be amazing for our family. We could all sit down and eat one big meal together.
It would lift a huge financial burden for us. Right now we have a lot of insurance issues that we're dealing with in order to secure medical foods and formula.
I would like my friends not to feel hungry anymore.
Your investment here tonight will help us fund the most promising peer-reviewed research that will lead to new therapy discoveries and an eventual cure for PKU. PKU is largely a disease about limits. Its effects can put severe limits on a person's ability to develop, function, and thrive. Help us face fewer limits and brighter possibilities for the future.
Please help us
Lift the limits for PKU.